Hi, and welcome to the Case for PET. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us about a topic you might have heard about that's truly important to us and which is becoming more and more relevant every day. As you probably know, more and more people have been talking about plastics everywhere from social media and probably even at your dining room table. Specifically, people are concerned with the issue of plastic waste. The common misperception is that plastics are bad for the environment. But it's important to note that not all plastics are the same. PET is the only plastic that is 100% recyclable, recycled at high rates, and can be recycled back to its original use. However, rather than hearing about this and other important facts from us, we'd love for you to meet some of the people whose lives PET touches every day. Let's start with Francisco, who was looking to sell more of the delicious raspberries he grows in California. Through PET's unique traits, he found the perfect solution to all of his packaging needs. As a material, PET is a better option than any other packaging alternative like aluminum or glass. It can make a water bottle with significantly less material at the lowest cost and is the only widely available option that is resealable and shatter resistant. This is why people like Francisco are choosing PET for their businesses every day. Now meet Dr. Kristen Giordano, who relies on her PET goggles and face mask to get her safely back to her family at the end of a long workday at the hospital. Like Kristen, a lot of people don't know PET by name or only think about it as water bottles, but it's in everything from hand sanitizer bottles to your favorite workout shirt. It's truly hard to imagine a day where you don't come in touch with PET. However, the decision we make regarding what we buy and which material it should be packaged in does not exist in an environmental vacuum. No one knows this better than Peter Evans, an elementary school teacher from Manchester. He works tirelessly to teach his students everything from math to reading and science. But recently, he's also decided to start educating the next generation on the importance of proper recycling and fostering a truly circular economy. Based on the unique properties of PET and wide variety of application that we just mentioned, it's no surprise that PET usage has grown by leaps and bounds over the last 2 decades. But what you might not know, and that Peter recently discovered, is that PET is already recycled at 58% on a worldwide basis. That's far above the rate of 16% for all other plastics, is on par with rates for aluminum and glass, and has the potential to grow to as high as 100% if done right, as is the case in countries like Germany. Slightly switching gears, we'd like you to meet Olivia. She's a college student from Sao Paulo, and while she's just as concerned as Peter on the topic of pollution, she's even more concerned with what she calls the challenge of her generation: climate change. Whenever you go anywhere, like the supermarket, you're going to be offered choices. And regardless of whether or not you recycle the packaging you chose, you and Olivia will have already had an impact on the environment in a way you can't take back. A new PET bottle that holds the same amount of liquid than an aluminum can or glass bottle can do so with an 80% lower carbon footprint than either one of its counterparts. That difference only gets bigger when you consider recycled versions for all 3 products, as a recycled glass bottle generates 9 times more carbon emissions than a recycled PET bottle. The reason is actually quite intuitive when you think about it. In order to make a glass bottle or aluminum can, you have to heat up its raw materials, bauxite for aluminum or sand for glass, by burning fossil fuels to as high as 2,800 degrees Fahrenheit. That's somewhere around the temperature of lava. Compare that with only having to reach 480 degrees for PET, which is about the temperature you might set your oven to when making pizza during family night. PET's carbon footprint is low, really low. In fact, if you recently had a cheeseburger, you could have washed it down with 300 bottles of water before even matching the carbon footprint that was generated by your food. Quickly wrapping up, hopefully we've shown you that PET has the best traits of any packaging alternative, as well as the lowest carbon footprint. If you agree, then most of the work needs to be focused on making sure more bottles are actually recycled hundreds of times over. This is where people like Don Eulalio Ramirez come in. He's a pepenador, or garbage man in Mexico, who makes his living properly separating PET from your common trash. He knows PET products are in high demand and is doing his part to foster a circular economy. But are we all? Everyone has a different role to play in this challenge. And while we've already made a lot of progress, we need bottlers, recyclers, consumers, and the government to all move together to get there. Alpic is constantly working to increase the number of bottles that are recycled into PET flake. Not just that, we're working on flake to pellet transformation, which makes it easier for companies to then turn them back into bottles. And finally, we're trying out new technologies, which might enable a different type of recycling in the future. You can ask Deborah Espeche herself, as she is on the front line of one of our recycling facilities in Argentina every day, helping our customers increase the rPET content in their bottles to meet their goals. Thanks to people like Deborah, Alpic is already the largest PET recycler in the Americas, with a capacity of 115,000 tons of rPET. It plans to continue leading in this industry with a goal of reaching 300,000 tons by 2025. That's the equivalent of us recycling 15 billion bottles every year. So now that you've gotten to know all of these people and their stories, we'd like to ask you to join us with 3 simple steps. 1. Recycle everything that you use. 2. Choose PET whenever you can. Remember, it has a lower carbon footprint. And 3. Share this story and facts with more people. That way we can all make smarter choices. It's as simple as that. Thanks again for your time. And please reach out to us if you have any questions or we can help you out in any way.